Breaking news. It's happening now. Hushpuppi. Federal government finally approves U.S. request for Abba Kyari's extradition. Hello, my wonderful people. The deal is finally done. Abba Kyari has beaten more than he can chew. And I believe it is because of many of the atrocities this man have committed. Hence, these things are beginning to show. When a man thinks he has now become larger than life, commit all forms of atrocities, and to a large extent gets away with it. These are some of the things that begin to happen. Abba Kyari has been the head of an assistant deputy commissioner of police, a head of a particular unit that does all kinds of, evil atrocities. With that position, they are supposed to be doing things decently and in order, and bringing about direction, security, but they took laws into their hands. Why man began to complain, the police unit turned a blind eye as if they could not hear the complaint coming from the masses that this man has deviated from the mission statement and is no longer doing what he should do. Rather, he's committing himself to doing other things. Nigerian security system, truly sincerely speaking, no real system in place to curb those things until he used his own hands to expose himself as God will have it. The US has asked for his extradition. Nigerian government has been looking for occasion to keep him. However, him himself again continued with the atrocities. Let's get all the details. Breaking news. Hushpuppi. Federal government finally approves US request for Abba Kyari's extradition. The federal government on Thursday approved a request by the United States of America, USA, for the extradition of the suspended Deputy Commissioner of Police, DSP Abba Kyari, over his involvement in a $1.1 million fraud where he which was perpetrated by Raymond by Abbas Raymond, commonly known as Hushpuppi, and four others. Abba Kyari, a deputy police commissioner in Nigeria, was, however, given some proceeds from the fraud, in which he had full knowledge that the issue was they wanted to conceal the matter from the person being defrauded, as one threatened to reveal the matter. But however, Abba Kyari was asked to keep the person in jail, Vincent, which he did, and collected something for it. Politics Nigeria reports that government approval was revealed by the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice Abubakar Malami's son when he filed an application before the Federal High Court, Federal Judge of the Federation in Abuja for Abba Kyari's extradition. According to the AGF, the application follows a request by the diplomatic representative of the U.S. Embassy in Abuja. Malami expressed satisfaction that Kyari's surrender is not political nor trivial. It will be recalled that in April of 2021, our judiciary filed an indictment against the DCP in Nigeria, Kyari, with the approval of the U.S. District Court, and demanded Abba Kyari stand trial for conspiracy to commit wire fraud, money laundering, and identity theft, of which he had full knowledge of. Consequently, the U.S. Embassy requested for Abba Kyari's extradition. He has since been in Nigeria even after the request, and the request has just only now been approved. When God says it's time for something to happen, yes, and the thing is refusing to happen, there looks like there is stumbling block and the rest, the same thing will happen. It may happen in a different fashion, or other than however way you try to prevent it, it will surely happen. You know what happens to an explosion? An explosion is a rapid, thing that has been built up looking for expression. If it cannot get out in the right way, channels be open, do you know what it will do? It will go by itself, yeah. It will perpetrate itself, and that's why you hear a loud bang, boom. You know why? Because it's looking for expression, and if there is any hindrance or inhibition holding it down not to truly express itself and come out, Okay, be able to come out of the current, whatever it is that is holding it back from being expressive. It will jump out all of a sudden and it will come out. However way it will express itself. Abba Kyari, after being requested by the US over 6 months, and Nigerian government were still dilly-dallying whether to extradite him or not. The police will go back to Attorney General. Attorney General will go back to the IGP. I mean, they were just toasting it here and there. Then guess what? With his very own hands, yes, you heard me very clearly. With his very own hands, he used his own hands to bury himself completely when he went ahead and guess what he did? Not knowing he has now become larger than life, is now involving himself in cocaine trafficking. I know the funniest thing in this country, the easiest people to perpetrate crime are security personnels because they carry these things and pass and nobody will question them. They are supposed to be men and women of integrity, protecting the honor and the integrity of the land. However, they are the chief architects preventing all of these things to happen. They do everything humanly speaking possible to ensure that they conceal, especially the ones that have become, corrupt. Oh dear, my. It would take God for, that place to be safe because they would do and undo. Take, for instance, in River State. Oh, so much so that the governor himself had to raise an alarm. Guess what? It was a naval officer who had, an illegal refinery in River State, polluting the whole atmosphere. Because when a refinery is constructed, a refinery is constructed with other things in mind. Okay, how to manage the waste so that the people living in that environment do not, begin to absorb that pollution, and after a while gets an adverse effect on their health. This began to happen. There are so many things that go in Nigeria. We just take it for granted, and over time, it's God that have been protecting us in Nigeria. On a more serious note, God Himself. Those things can lead to things like cancer and more deadly things. But trust God. God has been keeping us in Nigeria, irrespective of we not paying attention to where attention should be honestly and sincerely paid to and focused on. However, those things being done, our negligence or lack of paying attention to the real deal, guess what? We are still being preserved and protected, however way it is. Those things do not affect us like they should. And so Abba Kyari began to express himself, began to go A, B, C, D, Z, and he was caught with cocaine. As if that is not enough, he began to bribe. He began to make negotiations. But guess what? Thank God for the person that caught him, or his days were already over, the cup is already overflowing. They refused to collect $61,000, which is about 18 million naira in a single go. Is that not God? Leave us a comment. God bless you. Have a lovely and a fantastic day. From us, it's bye for now.